G'day everyone, just a conversational video, something I was thinking about the other day in my general train of thought as I was thinking about this particular topic. Why bother doing it yourself? And when I say do it yourself, I don't just mean guitar pedals, I mean anything. Why bother learning to paint a house? Why bother learning to build a deck in your backyard? Why bother learning to make pancakes? Why do we bother doing these things? Is it to save money? Often it can be to save money, not always though. Sometimes it can be more expensive to do it yourself, particularly when you're first getting into a particular hobby. You've got to buy a whole bunch of stuff. And I think this came from what I was thinking about this the other day, because I received a do-it-yourself beer kit around Christmas time. Basically ended up being a Christmas present. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, why do I want to make my own beer? What's the gravitational force that's pulling me towards learning about making my own beer? Why do I have an interest in it? And it's to learn more, you know. I mean, because I have an interest in it to start off with, but also to learn more. I'm not a beer snob. I don't know all different types of beers and things like that. In fact, I didn't even know how a stout was made to be dark, whereas, you know, a pale ale is pale, is often pale or amber. I didn't know how one was made to be dark and the other one wasn't. And as you may or may not know, it's because the grains are roasted. The grains in the stout are roasted, and it's like a light bulb goes off. Aha! So that's why it tastes so full-bodied and roasted, I suppose, and sort of coffee. I suppose some people say coffee, some say sort of a chocolatey sort of taste as well. I'm assuming they mean dark chocolate there, but yeah, that's why it tastes like that. So immediately I'm starting to understand how beers are made, the beer industry, how things are done, how beer is made, how it's fermented. You know, the considerations when you are brewing your own beer, being, you know, sanitization and things like that. You learn a lot. And it was the other day as well, another thing just on the beer topic quickly, a friend of mine brought a beer around and said, oh, it tastes very hoppy. Now before I'd actually, I bought some hops that I was using in my beer, and some hop pellets, and I smelt it, and it was just like such a pungent and distinctive smell. And I had one of his beers, and before I even sipped it, I smelt it, and bang, I've just immediately identified the smell is the hops. And that's what he means by it's hoppy. He'd never even smelt hops before. I actually showed him the hops. And so he learnt something as well. But yeah, I mean, you can identify that particular smell as being hoppy. Yeah, so you learn a lot is what I'm getting at. It's not, I don't think it's necessarily, for me personally, it's not really an endeavour to save money. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. As I said, when you first get into the hobby, you don't, because you've got to buy a whole bunch of gear to get going, but eventually you might, but chances are that you'll end up with something very personalized, which is interesting because that actually comes back to guitar pedals as well. Personalize your own beer and personalize your own guitar pedals, because you're equipped with knowledge. You learn a lot. You learn what you need to consider when you're making a guitar pedal, how guitar pedals put together, how you can modify a guitar pedal, and also you learn to be wary of some of the sellers that sell guitar pedals and some of the hype around guitar pedals. You learn to distinguish those things, and you know, just because just because it says on the front that it's got germanium transistors doesn't mean that you should be chucking lots of money at them. That's just an example. Or a PT2399 delay that sells for $300, you know, things like that. I mean, the PT2399, in case you don't know, is $1 chip, you know. So I know this opens up a whole new realm of conversation and debate or whatever. I know there's more to it than in a guitar pedal than just the chip. You know, there's the hardware, the customer service. There's a whole array of things involved. But you know what's in that pedal anyway. You know, I mean, and you might sort of think, well, you know what? it doesn't feel like value to me because I can make my own PT2399. I might get something that's digital, you know. So you get equipped with knowledge, and that's why I do these things myself. I'm not a big do-it-yourself fan, by the way. I like to build the odd thing here and there, or you know, make beer or cooking. I'd like to do a bit of cooking as well, or paint my house. I mean, that is a skill. It's not just a matter of just chucking on paint. You have to learn, particularly downstairs where the paint job was so bad. I had to learn some of the industry tricks in covering up the cracks, fixing the cracks, and all that sort of stuff. So I learned a lot about that as well. And that was purely an endeavour actually to save money, which I did. I was also sort of interested in painting as well, so it kind of helps if you've got a little bit of interest in actually the do-it-yourself field that you're endeavouring in. So yeah, that was it. That's why I do it. That's why I do it myself, even though that sounds like quite a provocative comment. Because I want to learn more about a topic that I'm particularly interested in, and I want to be equipped with knowledge when I am putting down money for if I'm actually buying a commercial product or paying someone to do a job or whatever, because I know what's involved, I know what it's worth as well, and that comes back to painting, building guitar pedals, buying a 6-pack of beer at the local beer shop. I can look at the pack, or you know, I might have a bit of a knowledge about how it's made and what the companies use in their products and things like that. It's good to have. It's good to know where your money's going. So that's pretty much it for this video. Just a conversational point. Why do you do it yourself? If you want to leave a comment below, let me know what's the purpose like for you to do it yourself. Is it the same as me? You know, I don't expect everyone to agree on this point, but is it to learn about new things because you have an interest in them and you want to be equipped with knowledge? Is that probably that would obviously be one of the reasons why you do it, but are there other reasons as well? Do you agree, disagree? Interested to know what you guys think. So that's it for this video, just a conversational video as I said at the start, just something I was thinking about today. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe for more.